Hey everybody, this is Teresa over at whatwouldyourhairdressersay.com. It's an interactive blog for teens, mostly, sometimes parents, for people to write in questions for me to answer for them. I'm kind of a nerd, so I like to research things too if I don't know the answer, so feel free to send your question. I got this question, how do I know if someone is really sorry? That is a phenomenal question. I think that a lot of people in our world get duped by people simply because they say they're sorry and then we believe them. And the saying, talk is cheap, that's true. That's exactly true. So it's actually not that hard to tell when someone's really sorry. So I'll give you a couple pointers. They take responsibility for their actions, period, end of discussion. I've always said, especially to my daughters, when you say you're sorry, you need to put a period at the end of that sentence. And what that means is that I am sorry and you didn't do anything that would cause me to act that way, okay? So they are taking responsibility for their actions no matter what you did. Now, what often happens is they say, well, if you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have done this. Well, that's putting a comma at the end of that sentence and adding a but. And I always say, when you have a but, you just hit the delete key on the previous part of your sentence and you are not sorry. Absolutely not sorry. You're trying to make excuses and trying to pass the buck and blame somebody else for your actions. We're all guilty of that sometimes, especially if the situation has a shred of truth to it where we're like, well, yeah, that was just really hard. I get that, but what you're looking for, as usual, are patterns. Does this person have a pattern of taking responsibility for their actions instead of blaming you for them? Okay? Now, one thing that I've seen that I always thought was interesting is that some people, because you're looking for someone to be remorseful, but you sometimes see people that'll just start bawling uncontrollably about something that doesn't warrant that. And you're like, huh? Like, we're going to bawl and scream and cry over that? It's kind of a red flag. Or they're pretty indifferent. You want them to be kind of in the middle. The other thing that I find to be a very respectable trait is when people come to you and say they're sorry. You don't have to go to them and confront them. Now, it's different if somebody just has no idea that they offended you. But if they know, they should be the one to come to you and say, you know what, I am so sorry I did that. I don't know what I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry. Would you please forgive me? That's really good stuff. But at the end of the day, what you're looking for, you can say all that stuff they want to. But what happens if they do all that and then they repeat their mistakes over and over again? Lots of people do that sometimes, huh? That's a person that's not sorry. A person that is truly sorry learns from their mistakes, okay? That's called wisdom. And wisdom is also learning from the mistakes of others. That's primarily what wisdom is. But they don't turn around and do it again. A person who is not sorry has a pattern of they do whatever, okay, fill in the blank, and then you have to say, hey, would you please not do that? That hurts my feelings. And then they get defensive and call you oversensitive, or they minimize what they did. And then finally they say they're sorry. And then they turn right around and do it again. And so the pattern continues. That is a person who's not sorry, and you probably should move on and let them figure it out. My daughter, who has theteenshrink.wordpress.com, is she's actually quite a wise old soul. And I remember us talking about something along these lines, and she said, if there was a person in my life that just couldn't get it figured out, I wouldn't wait around for them. I'd say, why don't you get your thing figured out, and when you do, you can come find me, and then we can talk about it, and I'll decide if I want to continue, even have a relationship with you in the first place, but I'm not going to wait around until you get it figured out. I thought, that's pretty smart. She's only 14. I'm really proud of her. So anyway, that's pretty much the skinny on that. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, please pass it on to your friends, send me some questions. I love your questions. And feel free to check out my website, whatwouldyourhairdressersay.com. It is an interactive blog, so there's videos on there. I'm starting to get more and more on there. Love to you all. I'll talk to you later.